Could the Browns sign Cam Newton? Welcome into a hotel lobby version of the Browns report. I'm currently out of town for a wedding right now, but come on. Cam Newton lists the Browns as a possible destination or a place he would like to go be a backup quarterback. Of course, I'm going to sneak away for 10 minutes and talk about this. So let's discuss the big Cam Newton news that made its way across the airwaves yesterday, where he in an interview said, yeah, there are a couple teams I wouldn't mind being a backup quarterback for, and he included Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns. He spoke very highly of Deshaun Watson, actually. Now, couple things I want to get out to you guys early in the video. One, Cam Newton should be willing to be a backup quarterback for all 32 NFL teams. He was not in the NFL last season. He will be 34 years old soon. He has a shoulder of a 80-year-old. Yeah, Cam Newton should not be picky about where he wants to go. And I don't think he is being picky. I think he did this to tell GMs, hey, don't think that I'm coming in here to try and push the starter or take his job. I'm happy to be a backup. I really just want to continue playing football and cash some checks from the NFL. Now, we got some quotes I'll read to you guys here, but first, let me read to you the 9 teams that he listed out as quarterbacks he would not mind being a backup for, but he's basically saying, I'll be a backup anywhere. I just don't think Patrick Mahomes wants me as his backup. They like to go a different direction. But the 9 teams were Lamar Jackson with the Ravens, which TBD on that one anyway. Josh Allen and the Bills, Justin Fields and the Bears, Deshaun Watson and the Browns, Tua and the Dolphins, Hurts and the Eagles, Malik Willis and the Titans. He said Malik Willis, not Ryan Tannehill. So if you have a Titans YouTube channel, that's got to get some fireworks going. Sam Howell and the Commanders, he could actually win that job. And Aaron Rodgers, who is expected to join the Jets. So those are the teams he outlined. He also said he wouldn't mind tutoring C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, and Bryce Young. So he's really open to going anywhere. But let's talk about the Browns for a second, because does Cam Newton make sense for the Browns? I don't think so. Like, you could use him in a fun variety of red zone packages, but in terms of him actually being a backup to be a backup, right? Hold the clipboard, and hopefully we never have to see you play, because that's kind of the goal for all backups. But if an injury were to occur, would I want Cam Newton to come in and have to play a week, a two, maybe three? Ideally, no, right? I mean, I, yeah, it's Cam Newton, but this isn't 2015 Cam Newton anymore. We saw that Cam Newton last time we saw him with the Panthers 2 years ago was not a NFL quarterback really anymore. Does he have some spark plays with his legs? Sure, from time to time, but is he a consistent thrower? No. Is Josh Dobbs a better quarterback? Hard to say, but I think quietly a lot of GMs would take Josh Dobbs over Cam Newton, because Cam Newton has not proven that he can throw the football consistently 30 to 40 times a game with the status of his shoulder after a lot of injuries, because he was an aggressive downhill running quarterback for a long stretch early on in his career. So let me know what you guys are thinking here. Do you think the Browns should sign Cam Newton to be the backup? I'm going to throw some stats on screen next, but first, let me know in the comment section if you would want Cam Newton as the backup for Cleveland. Now, I did see Mary Kay from Cleveland.com already talk about Cam Newton to the Browns potentially. I'm guessing the Browns don't have a lot of interest, but we are talking about the Andrew Berry-led Cleveland Browns. And I do think that you're not on planet Mars for suggesting some of these more far-fetched ideas, because his whole tenure as the GM has been far-fetched ideas, right? No one thought the Browns would get Deshaun Watson. He gets Amari Cooper. He trades for Elijah Moore. He's been busy as a GM. He's been aggressive, right? He has not just been the Oakland Athletics of the NFL, right? I will put together a cheap roster, see what our draft picks can do, and go from there. If he believes he can get an upgrade at a position, he will pursue it. So if he believes, oh, Cam Newton's no doubt a better backup than Josh Dobbs, I didn't know he wanted to come here. Yeah, let's go get him. Well, I don't know if he does believe that. That's sort of the hiccup I have, which, yeah, it'd be a fun idea. And Cam Newton's a name. He's a first overall pick, but it's not 2015 anymore. It's 2023. And 8 years ago, he was an MVP quarterback. It's been a long time since then. Now, what I did find interesting from Cam Newton's comments about Deshaun or about the places he would go be a backup. He was very very praised, if that's the right word. Um, uh, Thought highly of Deshaun Watson. Talked about how much he liked Deshaun Watson on and off the field and the turmoil he has gone through. So, if you want an actual takeaway from this, in the last week, we have had two NFL star players at some point in their career, at least, in Tyreek Hill and Cam Newton, talk about wanting to come play for the Browns. When has this ever happened before? What has star players ever talked about? I wanted to go to Cleveland, but they didn't want me. Well, Tyreek, they didn't have any first round picks to give up for you, and they didn't have the $120 million in the bag that the Dolphins gave you. So I don't think it was they didn't want you. I think it was they couldn't afford you and didn't have the assets to acquire you. But now I've got Cam Newton talking about wanting to come play for Deshaun Watson, which it's funny because one, I was told Deshaun Watson wouldn't bring people to Cleveland because of his off the field issues. That didn't really turn out to be true. And two, I was told that wide receivers didn't want to play with Kevin Stefanski because he did nothing with Odell Beckham Jr. But now I've got Tyreek Hill saying he wanted to come to Cleveland. I've got Elijah Moore talk about how super excited he is to play for the Browns. Like, I just don't think either of those things are true. And we've been told those are the two truths the last 18, 24 months or so. So the narrative is starting to change. Now, I did see a nice back and forth on Twitter between some older Browns fans of, yeah, this is just March and April, though. You don't win Super Bowls in March and April. I want to see it before I believe it. And I think that's a fair thing to say right now, right? Browns fans have been led down this path so many times, or not even this path, but led to belief of optimism and hope through the draft, right? This is a different type of optimism and hope. This is proven talent. This is we have seen you play at that level before, versus we are hoping Johnny Manziel can be good in the NFL like he was in college. So is it the same? No, it's a different path. They're parallel paths of optimism as I get even more Colin Coward on you guys here. But for the first time really since 99, the Browns have a lot of proven talent on this roster versus a lot of hope and belief that college players can come to Cleveland and play well and the head coach is a good fit. For once, we have a background of success. We've seen Kevin Stefanski put together a good season as a coach, right? We have seen Deshaun Watson play at a Pro Bowl level. We have seen Elijah Moore have a very promising rookie season. They're all in Cleveland now. So with all that and a lot of people outside of Cleveland saying how much they would like to come play for the Browns, I think there is something to within league circles, right? Within the group messages and the group chats of players, there's a lot of positivity. There's a lot of buzz around the Browns. So if you're not excited, we'll just have to wait and see it actually play out in front of us in September. But right now, I am excited. All right, one more thing before I go here, because I already said I was just going to go to the bathroom, and I don't know why no one thought it was strange when I left the hotel room to go to the bathroom, like whatever. So I'm going to get in trouble for this video. But one more thing. Apparently, the David Njoku, alternate helmet idea is more than just fan fiction. There might be some legs to it. So I talked about this in yesterday's video. I'll throw the picture on screen now of what David Njoku put on Instagram. I'm telling you guys, if the Browns wear those uniforms against the Ravens blackouts Thanksgiving night, that's the best uniform matchup in NFL history. I'm going to call it right now. All right, that's going to do it for us on today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in to a hotel version. I think it's a Courtyard Marriott. I'm not really sure. Everyone's probably tired of hearing me talk about the Browns right now in the little dining area. So I'm going to sign off and see you guys later.